So you guys are about to watch a live sales call review that I do every Tuesday within the community of a sales call that started off really well and just began to tank and eventually tanked halfway through. But within there's a lot of tangibles and intangibles that I call out that I think a lot of people just kind of like brush right over, about authority, status deltas, whatever the case may be, what I look at when I'm hiring, when I do hire them, what can I do to quantify them as a whole because they're an extension of me. If someone shows up to my call and then they show up to another call, how do they look comparison to me? Everyone's judging. And then a lot of just like the actual probing, pre-objection handling before actually getting to the objections at the close. There's a lot of things in here. So do yourself a favor, not me a favor, do yourself a favor and watch the entire call. I always tell people, most people don't see success because they don't know how to close, period. You can book all the calls in the world, but if you can't close, you will never make money. Okay. I make the assumption the only reason I was able to make money relatively faster than most people is because I've been doing sales my whole life. Okay. So I really do hope you guys find some value in this. Stick all the way through. If anything, turn the playback speed up to 1.5 if need to, but just pay mind to what I talk about. Hopefully you guys find value in it. And like always, if you have anything you want to see next, drop in the comments below. Like, comment, share. Let's hop into it. Cool. All right, let's run this up. What I want you guys to, I'm gonna just let it run. We'll talk through it. This is someone's closer, by the way. It's not actually him. And what I'm about to mention something at the very beginning. So, can I get something in the chat? Can I get a raise of hands? Or actually, let's make it simple. Why is the chat not pulling up? In the chat, drop a 1 if you have a closer. Okay, everyone's doing their own closing. Oh, Michael has their own closer. Okay, cool. This will be good for Michael because I'm going to talk about what I look for when I'm hiring. And I'll tell you what I told this guy on the call. This guy has really good frame, etc. Really good charisma. And then it just tanks halfway through.
Hey, Mike, how are you, mate?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good, brother. Hold up. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Does your camera work?
Yeah, trying to figure out. There we go.
Awesome, man. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Like to see you brought a pen and paper.
Yeah, try to be ready.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna bring some stuff up. Do we have? I believe we have 2 people. We see Big Stu and Mike as well joining us. Is that right?
Big Stu's gonna try to join. I'm not sure if he's gonna be on, but he may jump in with us.
Okay. Oh, good. Cool. We'll just give it a minute just to see if he can join. Ideally, before the call starts, we want to have all decision makers present, just so we don't have to usually explain stuff twice, because more importantly, your time is valuable and we don't want to waste that. So yeah, that's usually the main reason around.
Let me message him real quick.
No, all good. Oh, Alex.
All right.
Is this Big Stu, the notorious Big Stu?
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I don't know that nice fly shirt that Mike has on. What are you wearing?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to the beach, bro.
Look at this guy.
We're going to the beach after this.
Jeez,
What beach are you going
dude.
to?
You look like you're like Tony Montana, bro. Yeah, you should be the bro.
Yeah.
So there's a beach here called South Padre Island. It's a small island off of the state of Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike's a big cocaine dealer over there, so.
That's what to look at like to go for Miami Vice anyways.
Nice city. Where are you based? Texas?
Think about signs.
Texas, yeah. I'm in Texas. He's in Miami.
Okay, Miami. Okay. You like it out there? I've actually moved out there pretty recently, so
Yeah.
big difference from where I'm from. So
Where you at?
Where do you live?
well, I'm based in Miami, but I'm from Melbourne, as you can probably tell. I'm not from.
One thing that I told him that you guys just need to be mindful of, which is why you need to review your calls. And I did this too, so I'm guilty as charged. I'm always studying Patrick Bet-David because he communicates so well. Him and Andrew Tate, I would argue, are some of the best communicators I've ever experienced. I'm always listening to their stuff just to hear how they're emphasizing certain words, pausing, taking deep breaths before they go into a spiel, all of it, right? What I just said is what I was telling him to watch out for. I just said it by accident. We all do that. We try to fill in the filler noise by and it's fine to do. But if it's every time and then every time and then every time, you silence is bliss on sales calls. When I answer questions, sometimes I'll take a second to actually answer someone to let them know I'm comfortable. And I want to lower their anxiety by letting them know I'm going to take my sweet time to think about what you just said. Yeah, have you guys ever saw the Lex Friedman podcast with Elon Musk? Drop a 1 in the chat if you ever saw that back in the day. Lex Friedman did a podcast with Elon Musk. Did any of you guys see that?
3, 2, 1. Okay. It went viral. There was an awkward silence. They called it awkward for like 37 seconds. Lex Friedman, think about that in real time. 37 seconds when I say it doesn't seem long, but in real time, if I'm sitting here, that's 7 seconds. Imagine that times 5, you know? But Lex just let him sit. He didn't say anything. It was beautiful, bro. It was like he just let him sit in his thoughts and just let him think. And then after the few seconds, everyone's just anxiety, it just drops because you realize Elon's comfortable being quiet and thinking, and you almost put everyone else at ease because you're comfortable, you know? So silence is bliss. Try to take the ums out of the conversation. I'm about to mention something after he does his frame to a lot of you guys that is super important.
From America, I haven't got that accent. Yes, maybe at the time, but
I've been here for 15 years, so.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
What watch is that, Mike?
Breitling? Oh, no, it's not Rolex. Sorry.
It's
Really
nice.
stay just.
Hey, just,
Thank
yeah,
you.
nice. Like it. It's nice.
Appreciate it. We're fine gentlemen with a taste for watches. I can appreciate it.
No, yeah, I'm a big watcher. What's your dream watch?
Probably like a Rolex Presidential with the day and date.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, it's like, I'm not a big flashy watch guy. I like that
Okay.
that one's like pretty tasteful and you
Yeah.
can't really tell what it is.
Yeah, I don't like the diamonds. I mean, you know, when you put diamonds on a watch, it kind of ruins it. It
Yeah,
just
I
gets
agree.
good. So it's
I
like
agree.
my dream, not dream, but my favorite Batman for sure. It's pretty basic, but Batman is mine.
Nice.
Yeah. What one do I have? Did you ask?
Yeah, what do you got?
Just a tag, basic tag, nothing crazy.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes, so
Yeah,
we'll-
thanks very much.
yeah, all good.
So this is not bad what he did. The reason, so when I say bad, usually you want to keep rapport super quick to the point, get it rocking and rolling, because you only have so much time to actually get to the meat and bones of everything, right? They do a 2 call. So this is actually the second call. He has more time because he's going to be doing a lot more pitching. So he's building a lot of rapport and he's doing it well. They're both smiling. The guys are engaged. I think he did a good job actually genuinely building rapport, not just talking about bullshit weather stuff, right? So personally, in my opinion, I think he did well. I'll pause it in just a second. Let him go through his frame.
Oh, we should stop. Yeah, my big Stu looks like he's about to fall asleep there. So.
No, no.
I like, again, that was a nice subtle joke. He said, let me get started. It looks like Big Stu's falling asleep over there. I don't want to bore him, right?
Too
So
much.
subtle. Just go.
No, also, Neville, first of all, I'm really excited for this call because as I spoke to Mike before, I was like, you guys are literally perfect avatar. At the end of the week, usually want to help, want to serve, problems you guys are facing, we try to solve. So that's great. I'll get obviously into how structure works, how sequence works, how we get paid, all that stuff, I'm sure is what's on your mind. But I do have just a couple of questions on my own. Just looking forward to getting that. So is that all cool for you guys? Is that all good?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Great frame. Like back foot selling, made it almost about them. Hey, I know this is what you want to check out. I just got a few questions, right? Here's what I want to mention. Michael, you said you have a closer. I told them this when I was reviewing the call this morning. This is super important for even all of you guys who are currently closing. Whenever I hired closers, I really did not give a rat's ass what they put on the application form. I looked for 2 columns. Okay. I looked at their proof. Show me screenshots of your commission checks. Show me screenshots of the CEO shouting you out in Slack. I want proof that you actually are good at what you do. Show me proof. I want to see the Loom recording. Okay. It's all I'm looking for on application forms. All the other shit people lie about, you know, you could never really gauge that. I look at their Loom to look at them as a person. When I get them on an interview, based also on the Loom, I'm asking the questions and I don't really give a shit what answers they're giving me. I'm getting to my point, and the point is people are inherently judging you. When you guys, the reason I have my setup, the way I have it set up is when someone joins my call, I want them to go, whoa, who is this guy? This guy's legit. When someone lands on my website, whoa, who's this guy? This guy's fucking legit, right? They join, it's decked out, persona, everything. So I will hire based on how someone is communicating the way they answer my questions back, right? But more so, I'm looking at people are inherently judging you. So, for example, what I told him to tell his closer to do is get rid of the virtual background. I think it's corny. Don't do these on sales calls. Stop it if you're doing that. Put your desk up. If you don't have a good backdrop, turn y'all's desk around and just have it just your head against a blank wall. It's fine. If you don't have a backdrop, literally guys, turn your fucking desk around and put just a plain wall behind your background. No virtual backgrounds. And the reason I said who has a closer is because if this guy has been with him for a while, I told the guy who is the CEO, go buy this guy a new mic. That's a good mic. It's a blue mic. I don't like
Obviously, I reached out to Mike and I asked revenue. So
I don't like this red light on his face. It makes him look like he's blushing. My closer is a persona of me. And you have to think that way. If you're a part of my company, I got my guys' shirts, right? I got my people hats. You go on rush order tees and order stuff. Decked out shit. I wanted my guys to, by extension, almost look the part how I look the part. When they show up to my calls, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy? When they show up to my closer's call, setter's call, whoever the case is, CSM's call, who the fuck is this guy? You need to have that status delta raised by doing so. So if you guys have your virtual backgrounds, turn your desk on, even the camera, something as slight as this, there's a red light shining on your face. Why? You look like you're blushing. I told him as a bonus, if the guy's been with him for a while, go spend $200 and buy this guy a new mic. Super simple stuff that a lot of people would overlook, but it's important. Okay, keep that in mind.
you guys are around.
Especially the virtual background, guys. Please don't do the virtual backgrounds. Head against a blank wall.
350 right now. Is that available?
Just like Pierre, as long as just how Pierre's doing it, it's a perfect example. Just literally have it just like that. Showcasing it. Let's go.
Accept per month in for alpha subs. Is that a good range?
I think so, right? We're around 250 per month.
For, he said alpha subs.
No, I'm for Lawless Labs. For Lawless
Okay,
Labs.
little slabs. Is that
This is great what he's doing, by the way. I complimented him on this. He already has context. He has an application. He's recapping. He's recapping on the info he has. Great way to start the conversation off. There's no need to go reiterate questions. Let them know you've already done some due diligence.
your business, Mike, or is it like, are they combined or just different brands? How does that sort of work?
They're different brands, different businesses. I'm one of the partial owners of that company too.
Okay, cool. Okay. So
But
it's
Yeah, it's a completely separate company, and it would be, we're only going to do all this.
okay, cool. Okay, cool. So just main focus is Lawless Labs. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're around 250 for that. Awesome. Have the website. I've had a look at you guys' things. I do want to hop on peptides. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, the two brands that would be under that, the under that umbrella would be the Lawless Labs and then the Freedom Research.
Okay.
So they're
Sweet.
basically the same, they have the same product spectrum, but they're two separate brands.
Just different branding. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Same. Okay.
It'll be 250 under
I
Lawless.
told him, by the way, y'all pay attention to this. He has good charisma. Like he's nonchalant, super chill. He's literally acting like he'd be a bro at a bar, which when I was watching, I was like, oh, this call is going really well. I thought this was going to be a really good call. Then there's a few things that I wanted him to do here that he didn't do that bit him in the ass right here.
And I would say 60 to
Okay. So
75.
Lawless is the big chunk of what you guys are running.
Correct.
Cool. Awesome. Now marketing wise, quick one. So I did speak to Mike and he said you guys have an email list at around 10,000. Obviously I'm assuming that's not your main way of acquisition. How are you guys sort of getting customers out? What's your brand look like from that end?
Well, we run Facebook and Instagram ads, and
Actually, I paused. 7:49. Okay. Listen, I want everyone to start paying attention, and I almost might quiz you guys in the chat.
Getting customers out. What's your brand look like from that end?
Great
well, we
question.
run Facebook and
Great question, by the way. He should be asking that. Like, go ahead and get context on how you're generating business.
Instagram ads, and we have pop-ups on our website. So we're pushing traffic to our website. We're collecting some through pop-ups, and then we're also running a little bit of lead gen. Like we're doing $500 giveaways. Enter your information here to sign up for our list.
Yep.
So yeah, mainly through pop-ups on our website, and then through running free giveaways to grow our mailing list.
Okay. So giveaways, just main lead gen. And you guys doing website conversions with that Romanian? I believe you said before, Mike, it was kept shut down.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Kept shut down for the website ones.
No, we're running fine. Everything's going good. We're not having any issues. Our email domains got shut down recently, but not any of our Facebook marketing. So Facebook's still going strong. And we are seeing good growth with this guy. We're still seeing month-over-month growth. But I also realize that there's a lot more possibility out there because I see the amount of attention that our ads get and how much change there is, and that there's so many things that if somebody could pay attention and make daily adjustments and constantly be adjusting our ads, we could probably scale it 10 times better. So yeah, he does do good things for us, but I know we can do better.
Okay, that's good. So first of all, I'm glad you guys are seeing a return because a lot of agencies and people have burned the ship at companies like yours. So that's a great thing. When it comes to us, we do obviously do Facebook. We try to build on that with email marketing as well. So sort of like 2-in-1. I'll get into all that in a sec, but just so you sort of have an open eye of what that sort of looks like. So awesome. So you guys are just running UGC content, website conversions, and you guys obviously have like a bit of an automated email sequence. You're doing giveaways. That's all good. And your guys are with this guys on a performance basis. How does this sort of work?
On how we pay the other guy?
Yeah.
No, we're on a flat fee right now.
Okay. Flat fee with this guy. Awesome. How much? And sorry for being intrusive. Just so I can understand where you guys are at. What are you guys sort of paying around this guy?
I think we pay him around like I think we pay him $7,000 a month.
Okay. And is this the first month you've been with him?
No, we've been with him for years.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is he did our email marketing for years, but we recently switched over him to Facebook about maybe 8, 9, 10 months ago to him also doing our Facebook and Instagram ads because that wasn't kind of his specialty. And he took that over and he's done really well with it.
Okay, cool. Sweet. I'm glad. That's good. And you guys are around 10,000 emails, right, with your current database?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Now, yeah, that's really all the questions I have. I'm not
Drop in the chat your notes. What did he do? What did he miss or do wrong? There's a few things. Because this shit right here just bit him in the ass in the next few minutes. And I called it. I literally called it. I paused the video and I gave him the advice I'm about to give you guys in a second. I had no clue what was going to happen in the future of the call. And then something happened in the call. He reframed something a little wrong. Guy gave him ejection, etc. I want to hear what you guys think. You guys need to remember this. The idea when you're just doing a discovery, I say this all the time. It's to bridge the gap because it's a few things. One thing, bridge the gap. People are experiencing problems outside of this current call when they lay their head on their pillow, when they're on a walk. They're thinking about stuff in real time. Okay? If you guys have ever had a conversation with a stranger at a gym or something, I'm only saying this because I hear this all the time from my friends, and I don't understand. I guess this is what anxiety feels like. They say every time that they run into someone or someone tries to talk with them, they try to get out of the conversation. All their brain does is to think, oh shit, how do I leave the convo? So what you guys need to remember, these guys are having problems outside of the call. And when they join the call, all of those dissipate because now they're thinking about how they look. Have you ever been on a call? I just had this happen this morning. The guy's looking at you and you just keep seeing him looking over. When I'm on a call, I'm literally dead looking. I literally look at myself maybe 1% of the time. People are worried about how they look, how they talk, how to answer questions. Their brain is thinking about all these other factors that they forget about the problems. And the idea on the call is to be able to bring those problems to the present moment and have them answer questions and say that shit out loud, where in real time, you just brought it back into the present, where they say something and then in real time they go, oh yeah, fuck, that's been a problem for a while. Oh shit, yeah, that's been a problem for a while. Oh shit, yeah, that's been a goal for a while. Because that's what they're thinking. But right now, they're not thinking about it. They're worried about everything else on how to communicate with you and answer questions and not how, oh, why are you asking this question? Is this guy trying to ask this question for this, right? The other thing, it was, you guys need to remember, and this is the main key point I was telling him. The idea in the beginning half of the call is to it's not just bridge the gap, get the pain points so that you can use them as objection handlers. But the other key element, which is probably more important, is to get the information out of them so that you make sure you don't say that shit in the pitch where they bucket you in with the same people as everyone else. Okay? The idea is new is better than better. People want to buy from someone because it's different. And if you say something where it sounds the same as everyone else, they're going to bucket you up. For example, if someone were to be like, do you guys do group coaching calls? And in the back of your mind, you're like, fuck, dude, yeah. And you said it aloud, yeah, we do it. Dude, we do 27 group coaching calls. We have a mindset group coaching call. We have a sales group coaching call. We have a setting group coaching call. We have a marketing group coaching call. We have dude, we have literally probably 3 times more group coaching calls than everyone else. Well, guess what? All 3 programs they bought in the past, they've had a terrible experience with group coaching calls. They join, they don't get their questions answered. So you literally just gave them the answer that they needed, that they just now placed into the same bucket as everyone else. Where in reality, you should be like, John, that makes, honestly, we do a ton of different things. Out of curiosity, like, why are you asking? So the idea is you want to get information so you also know what not to say at the end of the call, right? Or to how it's the bad guy versus the good guy. We're at 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Okay? I hope everyone's paying attention. We're at 11 minutes because this call was so good, bro. He started off so good. Everyone was smiling. I was like, oh, dude, charisma's on point.
Getting customers, what's your brand look like from that end?
Well, we run Facebook and Instagram ads, and we have
7, 8, 9. almost 4 minutes passed. He did not ask how Facebook ads had been doing. How well had they been doing? So I wanted to know, I actually paused. I said, well, has he worked with anyone in the past? And then I unpaused and he said he's working with a guy. Okay, I would have wanted to know, how has the guy been doing? Okay, he's been working for 7 years. Sounds like it's been going well. Okay, well, what, like, give me context, man. Like, how well is Facebook doing? How much are you guys spending? What's your day one cash return on ad spend? Well, okay, besides the guy you've been working with, have you tried anything in the past? What have you worked? What is it not? Why is it not work? You want context. You want context. The thing that most of you guys are helping them do is generate business. I want as much ammunition from that question as possible, because that one question gives me literally a multitude of answers that I'm going to need that you could have probed on. And Brandon was right. Probe, because the next thing I told him, literally, he did not address this. How is it doing? How well is it doing? What else have you tried? What did you like? What did you not like? With everything that they just gave you. Okay. And the other thing he just said, and this is what bit this kid in the ass.
Going strong. And you know, we shut down recently, but not any of our Facebook marketing. So Facebook's still going strong. And you know, we are seeing good growth with this guy. Shut down recently, but not any of our Facebook marketing. So Facebook's still going strong. And you know, we are seeing good growth with this guy. We're still seeing month-over-month growth.
He did not address this, bro. There has to be a problem that I'm solving. Mike, can I ask you a question, my man? Dude, it sounds like, honestly, like you guys are already seeing a massive amount of success. I mean, for me, dude, look, at the end of the day, I'm here to help solve problems. You know, there's not a problem I can solve. You know, I don't want to sell you a vacation when the vacation is not supposed to be the one you're supposed to be on. So I guess for me, dude, you know, you just said it's working really well. I guess, dude, just help give me context. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but like, I guess, what are you trying to solve? Like, what problem are you trying to solve? And that's what I'm trying to understand. Because if this is what I told him on the review. I paused right here, and it's funny because it came back to bite him right in the ass over here. I said, if he does not have a pain that he is going to externally tell you right now that he is there to help solve, he's going to use that at the end of the call to say, well, things are going well. I don't need to do it right now. But if you were to get him to say something in real time, you can latch onto that. Because right now, things are going well. Okay, well, then why are we on the fucking call? There has to be something that you're trying to achieve. So let's break that down. And he doesn't do that, right? And the other thing that he does do, this is very minute. But by the way, does that make sense? Before I drop a 1 in the chat, that makes sense. I'm hoping all of you guys are truly understanding that. Okay, it's massive, massive, massive. So not only does he not do that, which inherently, guys, by the way, when you start asking those deep questions and you're getting context, that's called consulting. You're not having a consulting call. Sales friction is at an all-time low, right? That builds rapport. The more rapport you build, the more trust you gain, the easier it is to close someone. Because he didn't do that, there's not enough rapport yet. And then what question does he ask?
I'm not trying to interview you guys. It was just more so I could sort of get a bit more of a
9-10 months ago to him also doing Facebook and Instagram ads, because that wasn't kind of his specialty. And he took that over and he's done really well with it.
okay, cool. Sweet. I'm glad. That's good.
On how we pay the other guy?
Yeah.
No, we're on a flat fee right now.
Okay. Okay. Flat fee. Let's go. Awesome. How much, and sorry for being intrusive, just so I can sort of understand where you guys are at. What are you guys sort of paying your
Out of interest, just so I can know where you guys are at. If I was on a sales call and I'm 4 questions in, 3 questions in, and he's asking me that, why would a guy be asking me that? His 3rd question, he's worried about what I'm paying what does that have to do with anything we're talking about? It would have been fine if he just asked another 6, 7 questions where it was consulting and diving into the depths of the business. But you didn't go build rapport and you didn't dive into the depths of the business. You didn't handle the guy's objection, or it's a pre-objection, because that technically should be objection prevention, because it happens right here, which inherently all this would have built rapport because you're kind of like on their side. But now you go straight into asking this question. I guarantee you that just created sales friction in this guy's head. Okay. So the cadence of questions and not asking questions and I have a massive effect on what happens moving forward. And so he goes to frame something, which I actually love. I love the frame, but it didn't work in his favor. and you'll see.
Around this guy.
I think we pay him around like 7.
Does that make sense, by the way? Like the guy's asking, how much are you paying your media buyer right now when he's 3 questions in? Can you guys understand why that could potentially cause sales friction? Hopefully.
I think we pay him $7,000 a month.
What we haven't sold if it's really fit. Is that okay if I can ask? I have. I'm not trying to interview you guys. It was just more so I could sort of get a bit more of an understanding of where you guys are at. So I'm going to go over everything right now: product, pricing, what we do, how can I value. The whole.
Not enough recap. That's another thing I paused him on. So they've been talking for probably 8 minutes, right? Because I think there was a 2-minute gap, 2-minute rapport, or yeah, so probably like 6-7 minutes. Again, all the questions. There was so much more that needs to be talked about right here, right? It's the stuff we're going to get into the call. What have you tried? Why did you like it? Why did you not like it? Because again, if someone didn't like something, you want to make sure you don't position it the same way at the end of the call, so they bucket you as everyone else.
Usually we'll go 2 ways. I'll just really be asking.
All right, y'all ready? Let's go. That's what happens.
Bit more of an understanding of where you guys are at. So I'm going to go over everything right now: product, pricing, what we do, how can I value. Usually we'll go 2 ways. I'll just really be asking for a yes or no. That's honestly just to respect both that time. So you can tell me, Henry, this was cool, great, or Henry, I hate this. No, speak to me again. Mainly what I really respect is just I want to think about it, stuff like that. Just so I'll put all the cards on the table. And I just ask you guys to speak. I'll try and explain your concerns, and I'll try and see what we haven't sold if it's really fit. Is that okay if I can ask you guys for a favor on that end? Is that all good? Yeah.
So you're asking for a yes or no today, basically?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a yes. It doesn't have to be a yes. It can be a no. I don't really care which one it is.
I can tell you for sure it's going to be a no.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I can tell you now, like, we're not a company that makes the decisions, and we have something that's working, that works good. So any decision that we're going to make is going to be like with time.
Y'all hear what he just said?
I can tell you for sure it's going to be a no.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I can tell you now, like, we're not a company that makes the decisions, and we have something that's working, that works good.
Let me just try it one more time. What is he saying?
We're not a company that makes the decisions, and we have something that's working, that works good.
What did I just say earlier in the call? He just said, we have something that's working, that's working. We have something that's working. Good. Hold on, I'm hearing myself through someone. Who is that? I don't know. I'm gonna mute all y'all. I have something that's working good. I literally just told him, and I just told y'all prior to the call, you need to handle that right when it happens. If someone says, yeah, it's working good, there's no problem to be solved. You need to identify what problem or desire he's chasing, because he's going to use it at the end of the call. Lucky for him, he didn't have to wait for the end of the call. It literally happened 3 minutes later. He said, I don't make split decisions. To be honest, man, everything's working. It's working pretty good. Okay. Before I let this play out, I do love this frame. If there's a guy named Hunter Soroy on YouTube, he always talks about how to do objection prevention. If you haven't watched them, I always recommend go watching his stuff. It's really good. He talks about when you transition to your pitch, it's like, dude, so let's recap. You do X, Y, and Z, just recapping. Honestly, man, you sound like a perfect fit. You remind me of case study. So where would you like to go from here? I mean, I can kind of walk you through, what we do. Or you kind of tell me. I don't want to kind of push you into something you don't want to do. What would you like to do? You make them feel like they got the power. Yeah, man, show what you do. Cool. Can I ask you a favor before I do that? Cool. There's really 3 different ways that this call can go. It's going to be like, hell yeah, Ken. Let's freaking do this, man. This is awesome. It's going to be a hell no, Ken. You're a scam artist. I'm reporting you to the IRS. Or it's going to be like, I don't know, Ken. I need to think about it. I need to talk to my spouse. I need to talk to my husband. And dude, I would think it's safe to assume, like you being a busy business owner and me being a busy business owner, man, I value my time way more than I value my money. And full transparency, man, there's been a lot of people I get to the end of the call, and I genuinely have their best interest at heart. I'm empathetic. And they tell me they need to think about it. They need to go talk to the wife. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, for sure. And what ends up happening is I follow up with them 5, 10, 7, 14, 21 days because I have their best interest at heart, and they ghost me. And it's like, I'm putting my all into them because they told me that they, yes, fanboy me. Like, yeah, I want to do this. All I want you to know is I'm a business owner at the end of the day. I want you to know that you have the power to say no. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm asking you, please, will you, if you aren't interested by the end of this call, please just tell me no. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So all I'm asking for by the end of this call, John, is this for to go 2 ways. It's gonna be a hell yeah, I can, or a hell no, can. And just none of the like, I need to think about it type stuff, just so we can respect each other's time. And again, man, I just want you to know, you don't want to say no. If you don't want to say yes, dude, completely fine. Just tell me just tell me no. I'm completely cool with it. Is that fair to ask? Can we do that today? Right? So what you're doing is you're pre-framing them and saying, I want a decision today, but you're more so emphasizing on letting them know that they can say no. Say no. I want you to know, you can tell me no, bro. I would, please, like, I'm actually begging you, like, don't waste my time. Like, please tell me no. And it's no hard feelings. And so he did that frame. He just did it a little differently. He didn't pre-frame the context. He should have pre-framed it in a way where he should have emphasized. Right now, the way he said it is he said it where it's like, hey, I just want a decision, and that's it, period. You're either going to tell me yes or you're going to tell me no, period. But if you can pre-frame it in a quick 30-second story on why, and you basically are more so emphasizing on the fact that they can tell you no and it's not going to hurt your feelings, and that's what you want. And then you end it by like, can we just make it a yes or no? And none of that, I need to think about it. And you got to do it super laid back or you're going to create sales friction, right? And him doing this with no rapport being built, and then also just asking the seventh what he's paying his media buyer, it's like no report, hint of sales friction, another hint of sales friction. And then you're going to see in a second what I mean. Simone, what up, bro?
Yeah, I had a quick question because I've tried these few times, but every time I started with hell yes, hell no, or I need to think about it, that usually is a kind way of saying no. They every time interrupt me after this sentence. So usually it's a kind way of saying no. And they say, no, it's not. And then it goes like, I can tell you yes or no today. So it ended being like, a weapon against me.
You have to address it though. That's what I told him. It's about to happen in a second. But then you need to address it, because if someone tells you no, either you need to just blow their mind with the pitch, which it's not that 90% of the time, unless you're in a different market. Like, for example, I think if Michael Hansen's still in here, that'd be a different case. Michael has a good story and what he's doing is different. It's completely different. His pitch may blow someone away with it. They may say no at the beginning, but by the end, they're like, oh, fuck it. But for most people are bought in on emotionally, and they're built also on trust. And there needs to be a lot of rapport and trust built before you go into basically the same thing that they've heard 1,000 times over, So you need to address it, because otherwise, this is what I told him on the call review. I said, he's about to do it here. I said, you're about to waste 35 minutes of your time pitching to someone who literally just told you he's not moving forward today. So what you need to do is address it. Be like, look, Michael, dude, I completely am empathetic to what you mean. I typically sometimes need to go kind of look it over and think about it and so on and so forth. I guess for me, man, again, just being respectful of both of our times. Again, I don't want to sell you a vacation that you don't want to be on. Why don't you just give me context, man? Like, what are you hoping to see, or what would need to be in what I would show you today for you to feel comfortable to even make a decision, even if it was hypothetically tomorrow or the next day, right? Let's take today out of it. Like, what are you needing to see to actually go through the criteria of even deciding to make the decision? Because right now he's not making a decision today. Okay, cool. But when you make the decision, what are you also needing to see? And let's bring him back to him selling himself and giving us the ammo we need, right? You need to address it right there and head on, rather than letting it sit. Does that make sense, Simone?
Yeah. Thank you.
You have to, otherwise you're going to waste your time. And again, if you guys are earlier in your life cycle, meaning you have a lot more time, you're doing still take the call. Like, it's good practice. Like, y'all need to be this is where most people like mess up. So get your reps in. But once you're at scale and you have a sales team, or maybe you're at scale and you're doing a lot of the sales, you need to go ahead and start wrapping up the call. And sometimes doing that, it's funny, people inherently start selling themselves. I was like, hold on, well, let me see what you have, and if it makes sense, we'll see. It's like, oh, okay, because a second ago you just told me no, but you got to address it, otherwise you're going to waste your time. So, well, help me make sense of what cards here you're going to be looking for in order to actually feel comfortable making the decision to move forward. and then start addressing that head on and then kind of go into it. But again, I don't think, I told him this, I don't think that would have been an issue. I think he would have been fine with the amount of rapport that was built right here if he would have pre-framed it correctly. And if he also would have actually done some consulting and asked questions that inherently was going to build rapport. If he could have done this part and then pre-frame it the right way from your back foot and just made it seem like, hey, it's literally, you can tell me no, bro, it's cool. I think the guy would have been fine. But because of the other things, it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. Does that make sense? Everyone drop a one in the chat that makes sense. One. It's funny. Cool.
So you can
So
tell me, Henry,
watch.
this was cool, great, or Henry, I hate this, no space to me again. Mainly what I want to avoid, just with all respect, is just, I want to think about it, stuff like that, just so I'll put all the cards on the table, and I just ask you guys to speak upfront and explain your concerns, and I'll try see what we have in store if it's really a fit. Is that okay if I can ask you guys for a paper on that end? Is that all good? Yeah.
So you're asking for a yes or no today, basically?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a yes. It doesn't have to be a yes. It can be a no. I don't really care which one it is.
I can tell you for sure it's going to be a no.
Yeah,
For sure.
okay, that's fine.
Because I can tell you now, like, we're not a company that makes split decisions, and we have something that's working, that works good. So any decision that we're going to make is going to be like with time.
That thing is gonna fuck him, bro. It works good. He should have, I told him 3,000 times, he should have addressed it.
So I can't tell you that for sure.
No, okay. The other reason, again, it's like, it doesn't have to be a yes.
Okay.
It's not really like, my goal isn't really just a yes, it's just even see if this is right for you. So it's just more to help you make a decision. I don't really care which one that is, if that's what makes sense.
Yeah,
So-
we're down. I mean, it's just, I'm not going to say yes, we're going to pull the trigger with you today though. So
Again, that's fine. It's like, you guys just need some time to think, or?
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like you're almost trying to hard sell this already because like,
It's not about that. It's just about like a answer. Like, I don't care if it's a no. Like, if you tell me, Henry, it's not a fit, that's completely fine. I'm not against that. So I just want to be upfront, and it's more just to get both of our honesty. I'm not trying to hard sell you or press you or anything like that. I hope that's not what it comes across as I'm trying to do.
yeah, I mean, look, I got
like,
like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, look, bro, like it's kind of one of those things where like we're producing profit, we're making money, and we're not in a quick decision to make a change. So like we saw that you can add, and if you can, and we can talk about it, cool. But I'm not, like, I got about 5 more minutes I can get to this.
See what I mean? So let's go back. He does not have 5 more minutes. Y'all caught that, right? He said I have about 5 more minutes.
I'll get into our results. Okay, sorry.
Like I got about 5 more minutes I can get to this.
Yeah, he don't have 5 more minutes. He just agreed to the call. And then he just said,
For a yes or no today, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a yes. It doesn't have to be a yes. Okay, the other reason,
I mean, it's just, I'm not going to say yes, we're going to pull the trigger with you today though. So
yeah. So I just want to be upfront and
I got like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, look, bro, like it's kind of one of those things where like
where he said, I can't find it, but where he said, it feels like you're hard selling us. There's now sales friction because there is not rapport. He asked what he's paying his contractor. And then he's asking this question that does create a lot of sales friction if you do not ask it correctly and you do not pre-frame it and you don't ask it at the right time, right? Dude, the rapport was so good at the beginning of the call. This first 5, 7, 6, 7 minutes was so good. So good. Great rapport. Everyone's smiling, laughing, cracking jokes. And then look where we're at now. Just within 6 minutes, you know? And that's why I say it is so freaking key to make sure at the beginning part, you're doing everything you can possible to pull as much information out that you need, because that inherently builds rapport. The first half of the call is going to dictate the last half of the call. He is now going to start pitching. It's irrelevant. You guys need to look at body language and how people are responding. If I notice that this guy just said, I have 5 minutes, I have lost him. I've lost him. He's gone. Do not pitch him. Just don't pitch him. I can go into a whole tangent on that.
we're producing profit, we're making money, and we're not in a quick decision to make a change. So like we saw that you can add, and if you can, and we can talk about it, cool. But I'm not.
And again, notice what he says again, guys. I want to hammer this because I hammered it on the sales call review.
I got like, yeah, go ahead. I mean,
no, all good. All good. Appreciate transparency.
and we can talk about it, cool. But I'm not. And we're not in a quick decision to make a change. So like, go ahead. I mean, look, bro, like it's kind of one of those things where like we're producing profit, we're making money.
Let me say it again. Let me just do it again.
Producing profit, we're making money.
Let me do it one more time so you guys can really just remember this for the fucking future.
It's kind of one of those things where like we're producing profit, we're making money.
Like I said at the beginning of the call, when he said everything is working fine, and the guy just went over it. If you cannot identify a problem and why they are there on that call and get him to bring that problem that he's thinking about while he's laying his head on his pillow to the real time, have him say it out loud, this is what's going to happen. He's going to keep, that's the second time he's used it in the past 4 minutes. Second time he's used it in the past 4 minutes. You need to, when those get brought up earlier in the call, if stuff is not, it's working good, identify why they are on the call and figure out a problem. You are guys are problem solvers. Write it down if you need to. You're problem solvers. If there's not a problem, you can't help them solve anything, which means you're not needed. In the call early. When he said it here, he should have freaking isolated it and really got some context on why the fuck he was there. Because this is the second time in the past 4 minutes this guy has said that. And he would say it continuously again and again and again. I didn't review this part of the call. I didn't. I told him, I was like, you fix all this and I promise you this would have been perfectly fine. And then watch what happens when he starts pitching. He now knows he lost the deal. Watch his body language and tonality. The kid was just smiling and upbeat a second ago. Watch within the first 15 seconds.
And we're not in a quick decision to make a change. So like we saw that you can add, and if you can, and we can talk about it, cool. But I'm not, like, I got about 5 more minutes I can get to this.
No, all good. All good. Appreciate transparency. I'll get into our results, my case study, our process, and how everything works. So here we go. So first step is buying Facebook business managers. All of them have no limit. We buy you 3. One is obviously the no limit main one. Second is a backup if it gets flagged and banned. First one is just a data safe house to keep all your data safe. We create alias Facebook pages for you, and we actually create a custom landing page for the content that we're really pushing. Really just the foundations of what we set up. And then on top of that, operator.
It's like he just lost, like completely lost interest. You can just inherently tell. Because if for me, I would have not have just said that within 10 seconds. And when I was done, I would have been like, does that make sense? Do you have any questions? Right? He knows he lost a set when he's just pitching to pitch. Well, why? There's no need to. Guys, you got to be fluid with your calls. When someone is not bought in, don't try to close them. Right? It's almost like it's like when you temp check someone, dude, give me some context. Like, how do you feel about everything we talked about finances aside? Like, scale of 1 to 10, where do you sit? 7. Okay, cool. And you guys go to try to close him. Why is he not at a 10? Figure that out first, adjust the objections, make sure he's truly bought in. Do not try to close someone, or in this case, don't try to pitch someone when you clearly know he's not in a pocket to be pitched. Put the sales bullshit, the tactics aside, and just have a genuine conversation like you're just at the bar with your boy. Genuinely. I had this so many times, and that's why I close people, right? I put all the Cole Gordon, the Jeremy Minor, the Jordan Belfort, the Grant Cardones, I put all the tactics aside, and I just genuinely just tried to have a conversation where I was just super curious. I tried to have that kid-like curiosity, right? Because I just
Their account will be added to business manager as a partner.
Do you think, let's just put a 1 in the chat. If you think he's going to close this call based on everything, he's going to go in the pitching. Do you think this guy would close the call, or 2 if you think he lost the call? It's obvious. It's obvious, right? So you can learn to take a call where it's at and be present, right? Don't, like, right now, get rid of the pitch, bro. So this is all I wanted to cover, and it's actually perfect because we came right up on time. But this was so key when I saw it this morning that I was like, yo, I need to review this with everyone. Did everyone make sense of what we just talked about today? Please. Okay. New call, recap. Make sure you do recap. The rapport is massive. You need to make sure that you're not putting yourself in the same bucket as everyone else. So figure out what they're currently doing to generate business. What have they also tried? How has it worked? Why did it not work? What did you like? What did you not like? So I don't say that later on. If they don't like group coaching calls, I don't want to pitch group coaching calls. I want to call them coaching clinics. And you're going to get one-on-one support. And we have top tier coach. Like, you need to make sure that you have context. Right? And then when someone clearly states that they don't have a problem, you need to make sure you pause before you go on and identify a problem. Why are you here? Dude, honestly, it sounds like you're seeing a lot of success. Sounds like you really don't need my help, my man. I mean, I guess for me, give me context. Like, why are we here? Like, what are you hoping I can help you solve in the next few months? Context, get them to externalize the problem that they're thinking about outside of the call. Okay? All of this is super key. Please go watch the recording back if you need to. If you did not join the call today, well, hopefully you're watching the recording. If I'll to talk to them, they're clearly watching the recording. But hopefully that makes a ton of sense. Make sure you guys are probing. Please probe. The discovery portion is the most important part of the call. And guess what? Let's quiz real quick. Last question. The discovery portion is the most important portion of the call. Point blank, period. It's where you are inherently building rapport and you're building trust. When you ask questions, you're consulting, they're slowly almost consuming content from you, right? The more conversations and more dialect you're having, you're building rapport, it builds trust. What's the second most important part in the call? And you could argue this is the most important part. No one? No, yeah, so like, that's obviously one, listening, but like, that's like important things to do in a sales call. But I'm talking about like within a sales process, right? Closing / objection handling. Okay. All of that, the closing objection handling could be argued as the most important part, but you're going to get a lot of the objection prevention by asking all of the right questions at the beginning half of the call. And you're going to actually get more laydowns when you close if you actually start asking good, deep questions, and almost like you're on a podcast and the guy's like, man, I fucking like this guy. He's a good guy, you know? But if you jump to it too soon, you start asking questions like how much you're paying your media buyer when you're 3 questions in. What the hell? You don't even know me yet. And you're asking how much I'm paying my guy so you know how much you're going to charge me. I know why you're asking that, silly goose. Come on, buttercup, take it easy, you know? That's probably what they're thinking. What's motherfucker, dude? So it's super key, super important. All right. Did you guys find some value in this? Hopefully this was even a little bit. Just drop some, give me some ones, maybe some twos. Give me a couple twos. 1. Yes, 1. One of my best friend's name is 1. I should screenshot that and send it to him. All right, my people, I'm glad this came through and then I reviewed it because it was a super key. Use it or lose it. Remember that. Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. If you guys are doing your sales calls, last thing, I literally was like, I got to a point where I hated sales. Like, because when you do it so over, you're like, oh, God, I sold for 17 years. All my 9 to 5, I did sales, tech sales, mortgage sales, insurance sales, door-to-door roofing. And then for my company, you get to a point where you're like, I'm tired of sales. I don't want to just be selling anymore, right? But anytime in my free time, I was consuming sales content. And the minute I heard something that was like, oh, that's kind of cool, I was almost like a kid at the playground the next week, like just putting it to work, just testing it, refining it, testing it. So consume your sales content. And when you hear stuff, guys, I literally change my sales script and tactics and goal syntax first, pain syntax first all the time. Have fun with it, you know, because when you guys can truly find your flow, that's where all the money is made. I promise you, all the guys who have seen massive success are the people who know how to close people. If you literally took y'all's closing percentage, let's do simple math real quick. If y'all's closing percentage right now is 10%, and you changed absolutely nothing, and you just closed an additional 3 people, and you took your closing percentage from 10 to 40, you just 4x your company doing nothing else. Take your current revenue, monthly revenue, times it by 4. That's how important it is. You can literally change nothing except your closing percentage in almost 2, 3, 4x your company. It's important, so make it important, right? Downtime, take time to study sales stuff and become a closer. Don't be just a sales guy. Sales guys just know how to go through discovery. They know all the tactics. A closer asks the tough questions, and the sale starts when someone says no, and you handle objections, and you loop, and you get into the weeds of stuff. That's what closers get paid the big bucks. Learn how to close, and you can do that by being empathetic. You're doing someone a disservice If you know deep down in your heart, you're going to give everything you have for them to see success. If you know you are, then you best do your damn best to make sure you're trying to make them understand that you're going to be doing your best and that you're the best fit person for them to do that. You know? Bill Walsh, that's my guy. I love that guy. I was just talking to him the other day. All righty, my people. Love you guys. Let's make some money. If you need me, ping me. All right. Peace.